In our business, we watch what the government does, how it behaves, the things that it says, the messaging is pushing out there. And of course, the government engages in disinformation 24/7. Like we don't want to admit it. We don't want to say that too often because it sounds crazy. It's just like that's what they do. They say things that are demonstrably untrue, lies. They know it. It's not like they're unintentionally, I made a mistake. That's not what they do. We see it go on every single day and just keep pushing these talking points. And the media is 85% complicit in that, unqualified number. 85, I would say 85%. They're like, yeah, no problem. We'll keep feeding them and you keep feeding us. All right, it's a symbiotic relationship. And more now than ever, obviously, right? It's now that there's a lot of funding floating around and that times are tough. So anyway, every once in a while, you'll see that reflected back at you from people, even in your personal life. Someone will say, what do you think of that mass shooting down in the United States? That makes you feel uncomfortable as a gun owner, probably, right? And you're like, well, what does that got to do with Canadian licensed gun owners? Like, there is no connection whatsoever. Like, why would you even say that? Right? It gets reflected back because it does work, right? It works on 30, 40% of the population, right? They're soft. And, it's the appeal to authority. When the authority tells you something, you want to believe it because you're like, I don't want to believe that all these people are up to no good. They're just there to, line their own coffers or whatever, right? Unfortunately, that's the reality. And so anyway, but you see it online a lot, right? So you see that reflected back. So I just wanted to share this. So this is an email that 𝐂𝐂𝐅𝐻 sent us, and I'm just going to read a little bit of it. Check it out. So my name is blank. I'm a research assistant at a university. I'm contacting you because we're conducting a study that may be relevant to your customers or clients of your business and would like to inquire if you'd be willing to help us recruit potential participants. Through our study, we are hoping to gain a better understanding of how illegal firearms are being acquired and traded in British Columbia. Okay. If you read down, it says to be eligible in this survey/study, members must meet these criteria: 19 years or older, currently reside in BC, have knowledge about guns, including how they are bought, sold, or traded legally and or illegally in British Columbia, or have been charged with or convicted of a weapons-related criminal offense. And it's like, you look at this and you're like, well, wait a minute. Why do you think licensed gun owners are going to be familiar with smuggling firearms or trafficking in illicit guns? Why would they be the experts? Like, there's no reason you would even, I don't even know how that's done. I'm reflecting back on what I've heard from sources that I think are credible. It's just interesting. And how would you have a licensed gun owner that has a criminal history of weapons-related offenses? Like, it's possible for minor offenses after probably a 10-year firearm prohibition and proving to the government that you're worthy of that level of trust again. But aside from that, no, that's never even going to happen. But what would make them believe that that's true? What would make them believe that coming to licensed gun owners is the place to know to get the ins and outs of criminal activity? That's a result of the government and and the media, how they propagandized individual people. And it's throughout our educational system too. If
you don't stand up for your own ability to own and use firearms, who will? Join the CCFR or donate right now at www.firearmrights.ca.